WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Breaking news at this hour. This is living history. Today, the Mississippi legislature voted to suspend the rules, paving the way for a vote on removing the state flag. It started earlier today in the State House and moved to a vote late this afternoon in the Senate. Calls to remove the flag have come from around the state, multiple economic development groups, from Mississippi-owned businesses and global corporations. But it hasn't been easy. Our Quentin Smith has been following closely the debates this week in Jackson. He joins us live from the state capitol. Quentin.
Yes, Stephanie, for many, they say this was a great and historic day. Loud cheers erupted from both the House and the Senate after the votes were read. Now, both chambers needed a 2/3 vote to pass this resolution. In the House, they received 85 votes, and in the Senate, they received 36 votes. Now, with both the House and the Senate passing this resolution, they will now vote on a bill to remove the current state flag. Governor Tate Reeves did come out and say that he will sign any legislation that comes across his desk today. We caught up with a few state leaders to get their reaction on this resolution passing. Some had mixed reviews. Take a listen to what they had to say.
Today was one of the historical days of my tenure in the legislature, and I was proud to cast that vote today.
I think we are poised now to reach our full potential. I think we have enough roadblocks we have to overcome. This was an unnecessary one that we did not have to have, and I think this is ready. We're now poised to reach our full potential.
I think it would have sent a better message to the country if the people had voted for Mississippi. I think they sold them short.
We voted on this 20 years ago. Things have changed. A lot of people have said that they would rather vote on this. The reality is there are parts of our community that can't wait.
I am proud to have been able to cast my vote for this, and in order to make Mississippi move forward and gain revenue and help us to advance.
It wasn't easy, but you know, if you keep working and have faith, everything will work out.
Vote nay.
Now, when it comes to what's next, both the House and Senate will meet back here at the state capitol tomorrow to begin discussing the new bill to remove the current state flag. Lawmakers will form a commission, and they will have that commission vote on a new design, but the only two caveats: the new design cannot have the Confederate emblem, and it must say, "In God We Trust." Lawmakers will begin those talks tomorrow at 2 o'clock. But for now, that's the very latest from here at the state capitol. Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
Cheers and claps erupted in the House chambers after today's vote. Mississippi only has had 2 official state flags. The Mississippi Department of Archives and History says what is known as the Magnolia flag was adopted in 1861 by the legislature after it seceded from the Union. Just before that time, the Bonnie Blue flag appeared in Mississippi and was the unofficial emblem. However, it was never formally adopted. The Magnolia flag does have the Bonnie Blue in the upper left-hand corner. After the Civil War, the flag was repealed and taken down. It was not until 1894 that the most recent flag was adopted by the legislature. That controversial flag has flown over the state ever since. Communities all over the state of Mississippi are gathering together to march across their towns to stand for social injustice. In Macon, the community put together a unity march for the first time. The march started in the new home building parking lot and ended at the Noxubee County Courthouse. Second Vice President of NAACP, Larry Tate, says he hopes this makes an impact in the community.
We just want Noxubee County to come together, all people, black and white, because we live in a time right now that I see people as people, and that's the way we should see people as people, like God sees people. I hope that our leaders can get together and make some good decisions for the county that can benefit all of us, and not just leaders, but just all the people.
Everyone at the march was required to wear a mask. Another 467 Mississippians test positive for COVID-19. That's the latest numbers from the State Department of Health. In our region, Oktibbeha County has reported 1 death. And almost every county in our region is reporting an increase in positive numbers. Most cases are not requiring hospitalization. Health officials report fewer numbers in patients, patients on ventilators, and patients in ICU. The Mississippi Health Department says most people who spread COVID-19 do not know they are infected. That's why they they are strongly recommending to wear a mask or a face covering in public. Big increases in positive coronavirus numbers are now being reported across the Sun Belt. The soaring infection rate comes after another single-day record has shattered Friday, with nearly 45,000 new COVID cases throughout the country. The spike has the governors in Florida and Texas reversing course and tightening restrictions when coronavirus numbers jumped after reopening. Michael George reports.
In his opening remarks at Friday's coronavirus task force meeting, Vice President Mike Pence looked to assure the nation that this time is different.
We have made truly remarkable progress in moving our nation forward.
Touting a recent jobs report, the vice president said all 50 states are opening up safely and responsibly, and that the country had flattened the curve from the initial COVID-19 outbreak in March.
The reality is we're in a much better place.
Stay home.
Harris County, Texas Judge Lena Hidalgo had a more urgent message, with hospitals in the Texas Medical Center now reporting intensive care units 100% full. Harris County is reimposing stay-at-home orders.
Our situation is far worse today than when we issued the first stay-home order in Harris County and when the state issued their first stay-home order. This is unacceptable.
Texas reported more than 5,100 COVID patients are currently hospitalized, another record high for the 15th consecutive day. On Friday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott ordered bars across the state to close again. They're an environment he now says stokes the virus.
If I could go back and redo anything, it probably would have been to slow down the opening of bars. Now seeing in the aftermath of how quickly the coronavirus spread in the bar setting.
Governor Ron DeSantis announced a similar order in Florida.
People want to be social. They want to interact. And that's
his state reported nearly 9,000 new coronavirus cases. That's a 62% increase from Florida's previous record set earlier this week. In response, Miami-Dade County will close its beaches next Friday ahead of the 4th of July weekend. 31 states have reported a jump in cases compared to 2 weeks ago. Delaware, Maine, and New Mexico are among the latest to scale back reopening. As the virus continues to spread throughout the Sun Belt, the White House task force is imploring everyone to play their part.
We can be either part of the solution or part of the problem.
The European Union reportedly is preparing to ban travelers from the U.S. on Wednesday when it's expected to lift travel restrictions.
A few isolated pop-up showers and storms out there on your Saturday evening. A couple I'm watching right now in southern Lamar County, just near Millport. We've also got one little cell right there along Highway 45 alternate coming into Artesia. I'm also tracking some cells that are kind of coming up from the south right there along I-55 through Canton. Those will be in here over the next couple of hours. So we're going to keep the chance in here for some isolated pop-up showers and storms at least through about 10 o'clock or so. After that, looking mostly dry. And tomorrow, we're kind of going to do it all over again. The isolated chance for a pop-up storm, mainly sunny though, and that allows those temperatures to warm up into the low 90s. Another hot and humid day, a great day to spend some time at the pool. I've got more details in my first alert forecast in just a bit. Stephanie.
Houston residents are preparing for their traditional fireworks show. Our Chad Groening reports.
Normally, the residents of Houston hold their homecoming celebration on the town square. But this year, because of the coronavirus, it will be moved to Joe Brigance Park.
You put several thousand people around the town square, it gets really packed in and tight. So in light of the COVID thing, we thought that we could bring it out here to the park. Everyone could spread out. People could stay in their cars if they wanted to. We just wanted to do this so that, you know, there aren't any really organized events. But as you can see from the space, you know, we've got about 10 acres that people can spread out on, and that's just a little safer, we think, than having everybody bunched up around the square.
It is traditional for the folks here in Houston to get together on the weekend before the 4th of July to watch fireworks, and the reason is purely economics. Oftentimes people have other plans on the 4th, and fireworks are a heck of a lot more expensive to get directly on the 4th of July, so the weekend before is when we generally have it. And Johnson says community leaders are concerned that everyone will be safe. I don't know anyone personally who's had the coronavirus, but I do know of people who have had it.
You know, I know that the city, the mayor, and the Board of Aldermen are very concerned about keeping everybody safe. We are hoping that we can get through this pandemic. Eventually, it's got to end with a lower impact.
And Johnson says Houston came through the period of economic shutdown pretty well because most residents stayed home to shop rather than go to Tupelo. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Houston.
The festivities get underway at 7:30 with fireworks at 9 o'clock. Radio hosts in the Golden Triangle are having an amateur field day. We'll have that story and more after the break. Welcome back. Communication has a major role in our lives. Everyone wants to know what's happening and when. Thanks to ham radios, many operators are able to communicate with others across the world, even in an emergency. Our Savannah Gato got the opportunity to meet with local amateur radio clubs and has more on their annual field day. Savannah.
Today, I got to see how ham radio operators use their radios in emergency circumstances or in an everyday use. And after seeing how they work, I realized that amateur radio is not so amateur.
We have a big group here in Starkville and Columbus and West Point, the whole Golden Triangle area, as a matter of fact, where there's lots of us that get around and experiment with radio and have a lot of fun with ham radio.
Today, the Magnolia and Columbus amateur radio clubs brought the radio transmitters and more for their annual field day. Once a year, members come together and practice setting up emergency stations for emergency situations.
In the event of an emergency situation where maybe other communications were down, we could pass messages, whether it be well-being or just what is going on, what's needed in this area. So there may be a family in California that has family here after a tornado and they're trying to find out how they're doing, and we can provide that. We can get messages passed through that system from here around the world and let them know that, hey, your loved ones are okay.
12-year-old Tripp is the youngest of the group, but age is just a number. He has already completed 2 out of the 3 tests and passed both of them. He is the next generation of radio communicators.
So he is a full-class HF ham radio operator.
President of Magnolia Amateur Radio Club says that what they are doing is sort of like fishing.
You can throw your signal out there and see if you get an answer, and you can throw it out there and make a friend. It's like catching a fish, you know, and you just talk to people all over the county, all over the state, all over the world.
The club's field day is 24 hours long and will last until 12 tomorrow.
There are some isolated pop-up showers and storms out there right now. As a matter of fact, you can see one there here in downtown Columbus. I've got the details on how long the rain will stick around coming up in my First Alert forecast. That's right after this. Stay with us.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
Well, summer-like weather sticking around here for the last few days, and it's going to continue. That means hot, humid, and the chance for some pop-up showers and storms. Here's your rain chances for the next 7 days. I think tomorrow and Monday really looking fairly dry for the most part, but rain chances increase through the middle and end portion of the week. So it's going to be one of those 7-day forecasts that you just kind of want to keep that umbrella handy for. I'll have more specific timing on when we can expect some rainfall coming up in just a little bit. Let's talk about what's going on rainfall-wise right now, because we do have some showers and storms out there. Very isolated in nature. Not everybody's seeing activity, but there are some very isolated downpours out there. Take a look here in the Golden Triangle. We've got one little shower just to the north of Millport, also one down in Pickens County, and also just a little shower there to the east of Artesia, coming up near GTR, and eventually here into downtown Columbus. We've also got some activity coming through Kosciuszko, Atala County, and then kind of a heftier, beefier cell down near Canton, Mississippi. That could impact us here in the next little bit if it holds together, but generally, I don't think we're expecting anything major here overnight tonight in the way of storm activity. Here's a live look outside right now. Tupelo, nothing but blue sky. Same story in Louisville. Columbus looking pretty nice too. There's that shower off in the distance and just a few clouds moving into Vernon right now. Temperatures close to 90. And it is muggy as all get out there. We are looking at dew points in the mid-70s. Once you get past about 65 on the dew point, that's when you start to feel muggy. So when you see values in the 70s, That makes it hot and humid, and that moisture in the air is what's helping us to pop up some of those shower and storms. Here's a look at the heat index, though. Once you factor in all that mugginess in the air, this is what it feels like as you step outside. I think Macon may be overestimating just a little bit. It's not going to feel like 118. What it is going to feel like is close to 100 degrees as you're stepping outside. 70 for the low tonight. Will fall down from feeling like 100 here over the next couple of hours. We'll see some clouds filtering in and the potential of a shower here over the next couple of hours. Generally a dry overnight. Tomorrow, much of the same as today. 90 for the high. A great day to get out in the backyard pool because it is going to be hot and humid. Kind of a mix of sun and clouds like we've seen today, and the chance of a pop-up storm. I'll show you that on Futurecast. We wake up to cloud cover, and then by the afternoon, I think we see some peaks of sunshine. Again, with the potential, though, for a pop-up shower or storm. Not everybody sees rain. I think most people do stay dry through the day tomorrow. Here's that AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Sunday and Monday, for the most part, looking dry. Better rain chance is going to filter in here through the middle and end of the week. Right now, I'm targeting Wednesday and Thursday to be the rainiest days. High is going to stay close to 90, and that humidity going to stay up through the week, making things feel like 95 to 100 degrees. Overnight lows generally in the low to mid 70s.
The high school football tour continues on. We check in with Okolona High School for stop number 6. Catch the preview next in sports.
For WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
We continue the high school football tour with a visit to Okolona. Head coach Lamart Harvey and the Chieftains look to bounce back from a 3-8 record last season in hopes of returning to the postseason this year. Okolona is stop number 6 on the high school football tour.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
The youth movement makes its way to Okolona in 2020. The Chieftains return only 2 starters on offense, but head coach Lamart Harvey loves the energy this team brings day in and day out.
Our young guys are eager. We push them. They put the work in, and we're excited for this year. We want to compete. The big thing we're teaching, playing football, we want to compete in life, and we're excited. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're excited to get it going.
A lot of ones coming back from last year that played, you know what I'm saying, we can go and show the young guys how to come out there and use. They can just pay attention to us, and then we can just show them how to do it.
Harvey says he's known this freshman class since they were in the 6th grade, and is excited to bring them in and show them the Chieftain culture.
I like to have a lot of fun with them. We do have a lot of fun out here. I'll tell them, football is supposed to be fun. It's a tough discipline for sport that teaches life lessons, but if kids come out and don't have fun, hey, they don't want to be out here anyway. So we like to have fun in Oklahoma.
Come out here, you know what I'm saying, treat you like you his own. You know, you go in the gym at the school, go talk to him, chop it up, laugh. You know, he's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? He come out here, teach you everything you need to know, just like a father.
Okolona will rely heavily on his defense. The 3 starting linebackers from last season are back and hungry to wreak havoc on the field.
They make the calls. They get the call from my defense coordinator on the sideline, so they're the quarterback on defense to be able to make those calls and get our guys lined up in correct position. That's big, and that's going to be our strong point this year's linebacker and defensive line play.
You got me, Money, Davon, 3 linebackers. It's it right there.
The senior leadership will be needed as Okolona competes in the toughest region in 1A. This young squad enters the season under the radar, but wouldn't want it any other way.
No one's talking about us, and that's the way we like it. We low key, and hopefully we're surprising people this year.
Okolona will host Aberdeen August 21st to start the season. Reporting in Okolona, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Okolona is sponsored by Okolona Pharmacy Gifts and Florist, Bank of Okolona, and Access School Health Services.
And the high school football tour continues on tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And for the foreseeable future, here's a look at some of those upcoming stops. Sunday, tomorrow, we're going to check in with French Camp for stop number 7. And then on Monday, to kick off the week, we get back to it with the Hamilton Lions. That will be stop number 8. Tuesday is all about the Vardwin Rams for stop number 9. And then we move to Wednesday. We're going to check in with going up north and checking in with the Myrtle Hawks. Thursday, then, the tour makes the trip to Baldwin, and we'll see what the Bearcats are up to as we approach the upcoming 2020 season. On Friday, we will be urching it up with East Union for stop number 12, and then Hey, we're already into next weekend. Saturday, we'll be featuring the Mantachi Mustangs, and then we move to Sunday, which will be July 5th. Can you believe that? Stop number 14 with the Bruce Trojans. Of course, if you've missed any of those stops along the way, you can always go check those out on our website at WCBI.com. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
We're going to keep the chance in here for an isolated pop-up storm tomorrow and Monday. Most of us are going to stay dry, though. Highs in the 90s. Better rain chances coming in here by the middle and end of the week. Wednesday and Thursday looking pretty wet, so keep that umbrella handy. Rain chances look to extend as we get into the weekend. So, Stephanie, as I mentioned, just one of those weeks where you want to have the umbrella on standby.
And you know what, Trevor? I think I have just misplaced mine, so I may take a trip to Walmart and go buy a new umbrella.
Now's the week to do it.
Now's the week to do it, most definitely. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you later. Thank you.